Good evening. Welcome to Old Time Hymn Sing. I'm so glad you're here with us to sing some of these great old hymns. If you take a look around where you're seeing this on Facebook Live, you'll see a link, and you can link on there and get all the words tonight and sing along with us. We love it when if you have a comment, we love to see that. We love to get likes and loves. That really is a good way for us to communicate, let us know what's going on your end. Tonight, I'm very excited about tonight. Tonight we're featuring the hymns of Charles Wesley and Dr. Isaac Watts. Charles Wesley was considered the father of Methodist congregational singing. He wrote over 6,500 hymns in his lifetime. And Isaac Watts was considered the father of the English hymn. Watts came earlier, and all of the things he sort of pioneered, Charles Wesley jumped on that bandwagon, and so these hymns are similar in the way they're put together. So our opening hymn is a terrific favorite of mine, Charles Wesley hymn, "Oh, for a Thousand Tongues to Sing." Sing with us tonight. Oh, for a thousand tongues to sing my great Redeemer's praise, the glories of my God and King, the triumphs of His grace. My gracious Master and my God, assist me to proclaim, to spread through all the earth abroad the honors of Thy name. Jesus, the crown that charms our fears, that bids our sorrows cease. 'Tis music in the sinner's ears, 'tis life and health and peace. He breaks the power of cancelled sin, He sets the prisoner free. His blood can make the foulest clean, His blood avails for me. Wonderful, that's a great start. This hymn was written, Charles wrote this for the 1-year anniversary of his conversion experience. He wrote it in May 21st, 1739 for Pentecost Sunday. And so 1 year before that, he'd had a conversion experience. And then 3 days later, his brother John, his big brother John, had his Altar's Gate experience. So Charles was a few days ahead of John. And then when John and Charles were both at Oxford, Charles started the Holy Club and got that club going, and then John joined later. So Charles was very tied up in the beginning of Methodist history. So our next song, "Maker in Whom We Love," it's a well-known Methodist hymn. Charles wrote this text in 1747, and he originally called it "To the Trinity." And if you read it carefully, each of these lines of text are to a different member of the Trinity. And then the fourth verse is about the triune God. So he was one of the first to include all of the Trinity in his hymnody. So this thing, "Maker in Whom We Live." Sing with us now. Maker in whom we live, in whom we are and move, the glory, power, and praise receive for Thy creating love. Let all the angel throng give thanks to God on high, while hymns tonight are probably older than we've done at times on Old Time Hymn Sing. This next song is our first example of Isaac Watts. Dr. Isaac Watts was an English Christian minister. He was a part of he was kind of a contrarian, part of a Congregationalist church. So in England, the Anglican Church, or the Church of England, allowed a certain number of contrarian churches, and he was one of those. His innovation was in the Anglican Church, you didn't have any hymns. You sang rhyme psalter. You took a psalm, you made a rhyme out of it, and that's all that you sang. And at times it was a little awkward. And he wanted to write hymns that were scripturally based, that taught theology, that would go with a sermon. You know, we in our worship team, we're always talking about getting our themes together. Well, Dr. Isaac Watts was probably the originator of that, getting your themes together. He also believed that it was a great teaching tool for children. So believe it or not, he wrote a lot of children's hymns, and I Sing the Mighty Power of God came out in a book that he wrote for children. So let's sing this together. I sing the mighty power of God that made the mountains rise, that spread the flowing seas abroad and built the lofty skies. I sing the wisdom that ordained the sun to rule the day. The moon shines full at God's command, and all the stars obey. I sing the goodness of the Lord, who filled the earth with food, who formed the creatures through the word, and then pronounced them good. Lord, how thy wonders are displayed where'er I turn my eye. If I survey the ground I tread, or gaze upon the sky, there's not a plant or flower below, but makes thy glories known. The clouds arise and tempests blow by order of thy throne, while all that borrows life from thee is ever in thy care. And everywhere that we can be, thou God art present there. Amen. That's a pretty sophisticated children's song, I think. Oh, I don't have anything to say about Hark the Herald Angels Sing. It's really just the most popular Charles Wesley Christmas carol. So let's have a little Christmas carol. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye Weatherford's favorite Christmas carol, so I'll dedicate that tonight to Ken Weatherford. How about some birthday shout-outs? So today's birthdays, those who have birthdays on today, 24th July, are Nancy Rail, Scott Harlow, and Sierra Woodland. Happy birthday. And then this past week, Jake Holton, Joanne DeVinny, Bill Schoonover, Michael Williams, Ben Anderson, Allie Fisher, Kevin Wilson, Francis Scott, Kim Fernandez, Wayne Doherty, Wayne, John Smith, Alice Haney, and Kristen Caldwell. Happy birthday this week and today. Let's sing a little happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God bless you. Happy birthday to you and many more. Good job, Charlotte. Glad to have Charlotte here tonight. She always adds a little jazziness to things, which I like. Oh, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. This is also an Isaac Watts hymn tune, probably one of his finest poems. In this piece, he grabs you with the opening line, and then there's always this build in the middle. Even though it's not a lot of lines, he does a really nice job in this poem. It's probably one of his better poems. So the other thing I wanted to talk about on this one is the music for this very famous hymn is by Lowell Mason. Lowell Mason was a later hymn writer. He wrote about 1,600 hymns, and he lived in the late 1800s, middle to late 1800s. But he is really best known as a music educator. He started the public school music program in the Boston schools and offered, so Boston had free education, and he said, we've got to teach these young people how to sing. Okay, why did Lowell Mason care whether young people could sing? Because they have to go to church, and he wanted them to sound good. He wanted to increase the musical literacy and have people sound good. So Lowell Mason wrote this beautiful tune, and Isaac Watts wrote this beautiful poem. Let's sing together. When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. that hymn. Oh, Christ the Lord is risen today. It's a classic Easter hymn Charles Wesley wrote. It first appeared in a collection called Hymns and Sacred Poems in 1739. But this is a weird thing I found out just recently studying this. The Alleluias weren't in there. Can you imagine singing Christ the Lord is risen today without the Alleluias? Those were added in the later 19th century. So the original hymn just had these words, this poem. It's a wonderful hymn, and it's interesting because it's all in first person. It's all in present tense, I would say. So it's Christ the Lord is risen today, not Christ the Lord has risen or Christ the Lord rose. So it puts us squarely in that salvation message that Christ is risen every day, and we are there being risen with Christ. So let's sing this together. We didn't get to have, Easter. We didn't have all that great Easter music that we'd like, so let's sing this tonight for our Easter offering. Christ the Lord is risen today. Alleluia. Earth and heaven in chorus say, Alleluia. Raise your joys and triumphs high. Alleluia. Sing ye heaven and earth reply. Love's redeeming work is done. Alleluia. Fought the fight, the battle won. Alleluia. Death in vain forbids him rise. Alleluia. Christ hath opened paradise. Alleluia. Soar we now where Christ has led. Alleluia. Following our exalted head. Alleluia. Made like him we rise. Alleluia. Ours the cross, the grave, the skies. Alleluia. Amen. I can hear you sing that out there. I know there's a lot of energy and fun somewhere singing that. That's terrific. Thank you all for doing that. This last song before our shout-outs is this song has been in my head for a long time, and I had to do this in old-time hymn singing just to kind of get it out of my head. It's interesting. Marching to Zion is this is a Isaac Watts hymn tune, and the interesting thing about this version, we have two versions of this in our hymn book. One of them is kind of a staid version, and it doesn't have the chorus. But in the late 1800s, Robert Lowry, who was a Baptist minister and an evangelist, wrote this. He wrote he loved the words. I'm sorry, I said this was Isaac Watts. This is Charles Wesley. So he saw this hymn text of Charles Wesley. He loved the hymn text, and he added a chorus to it, which repeats a lot. So, and it's a very revivalist feeling. The other hymn tune in our book is much more staid and a much more an adoration kind of hymn, but this is much more of a revival hymn. And part of the repetitiveness for Lowry is he was preaching and teaching around the Civil War time, and there were a lot of people who he was worried about couldn't read. So if they could hear a chorus over and over again, they wouldn't have to read the words, they could pick it up. So that's why. So I think it's a great energetic song, and let's sing this together. We're marching to Zion. and every tear be dry. We're marching through Emmanuel's ground. We're marching through Emmanuel's ground to fairer worlds on high, to fairer worlds on high. We're marching to Zion, beautiful, beautiful Zion. We're marching onward to Zion, the beautiful city of God. Wonderful. You sang that really well. You can hear that marching cadence, can't you, in that? That really works. Again, I was wrong. It is Isaac Watts. I need to write that down into my notes. Who wrote it? So, hey, come and give us some shout-outs, Miss Brooke. Happy to see you here.
Hello, hello. I'm so happy to be back this Friday. Had a little vacation last week, all refreshed and ready to go. I will say I missed my Friday night buddies tonight. It's so good to see you all. I feel like the thing about this quarantine time or isolation time, all these distancing times, that's been really neat is I have interacted with a lot of people that I don't always interact with. And this group in particular, if y'all look at a lot of the comments and people watching, most of us go to different services and none of y'all come to youth Sunday school, so I miss you a lot of times completely. So it's really fun. And I've been working with Mike Lewis a lot. We're both on the Reopen Task Force. And so we've been talking more than ever, and so much so that he has started reading my mind. It's crazy, because he stole one of my jokes right out from under me, and I had written it down on my pad. It's right here, I promise. Because I had said, all right, Ray, you've set the tone. I think Mike Lewis is at home taking notes on the lessons during hymn sing, which is a lot more fun than my music lecture class was in college. So, and he's quizzing everybody. All right, so we do have 2 announcements for church coming up. We are starting on the first Sunday of August, which is August 2nd. We are going to start airing 2 live services, one at 9 a.m., which will be the gathering, and the traditional will be at 11 a.m. On the first Sundays of the month, Children First will take place of the gathering at 9 a.m. So make sure to mark that down so that you can tune in to one or both services, we hope, or watch them throughout the week and spread that love. We also have a new dial-in phone number for worship, and that starts this Sunday. Our service is at 9:45, and it will be for every Sunday, every service going forward. So if you need that phone number or you know someone who needs that phone number, please call the church and you can connect through the extension to myself. I'm extension number 2, I believe I'm still on there as, which is if members need help. And I'd be happy to give you that phone number. It's also in the e-news. I want to say hello this week to some of our friends that we see, Mark Inman, Patty Inman, the Douglases, Diane Morrison, who I just love seeing you on there, and I know you miss being up here singing so much, and saying hi to everyone is so fun. Bert Stacy, Randy and Lori Erskine, I know you'll be watching this later, as well as Marilyn O'Brate, Jim Crabtree, the Wilsons, and Marilyn Martins. It's so good to see you all. Ashley Keenan, we love Christmas in July too, and today we love Easter in July. That was a nice treat today. And then many of you said thank you, big thank you to Miss Charlotte for being here, which we love and we appreciate her so much. And before I leave, I'm going to leave you with a trivia question, and I will answer it in the comments on Facebook. So the trivia question is, what is the date of Aldersgate Day, and what did John Wesley feel that day? So what is the date of Aldersgate Day, and what did John Wesley feel? Now, don't look it up. Don't cheat. Be honest. So we'll see you later.
Thank you, Miss Brooke. I gave you a hint on that because I said, but it was a little convoluted because I said Charles was converted, and then 3 days later, and then I said some dates. But you'd have to be Mike Lewis taking notes to really, keep that all straight. Hey, so glad to have you all tonight. Let's close with our prayer that we close all of our old-time hymn sings with. Let there be peace on earth. Thanks for sharing this time and singing and coming and gathering like this. It really means an awful lot to me. and I hope it does to you as well. Let's sing, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God our Creator. Children all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let